bed. And we've got a very special occasion today. We have a guest with us, Mr. Anthony Neff, in the top right corner. Give us a wave, please, sir. One of our new streamers, in fact. In fact, you can tell us all about yourself before we start doing anything, mate. So the spotlight is yours.
Every detail.
The squad.
Every detail. Every single detail.
All the dirt.
I'm Anthony. I'm pretty new to Planet Destiny. I've done about 5 or 6 streams with you guys now. I play a lot of Trials of Osiris. I've been playing since the beta, obviously Trials since when it came out. A little bit of my personal life. I'm 24. I got 1 child. I've been married for 6 years. I have a full-time job. I'm active duty military. I currently live in Florida, and I really like soccer. So a little bit about myself. You can find me at Anthony Neff on Twitter. There you go.
Awesome.
Yo, Florida boys represent. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, welcome to Planet Destiny.
Yeah, man. Welcome.
We're glad to have you
aboard,
on as
man.
another streamer.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Good to have you here.
Now,
I feel
here's
like
the most
most
important
people in
question.
Florida play Destiny. I just
Most
feel like
people
everyone
in Florida play Destiny.
everyone's
brand
like
new to
Florida.
this. I'm brand new to Florida. I've been in Florida for maybe 3 weeks now. My job.
Wow.
If I know anything about Florida, it's filled with really old retired people and people who love to play Destiny.
That's both me. Thank you.
Okay, Anthony, important question. Favorite cereal?
Honey
Here we
bunches of
go.
oats. Cinnamon honey bunches.
Dude,
of oats.
Honey Bunches of Oats, my man.
Oh, yeah.
Put it right
Let's
up there.
go.
Wow.
Good stuff.
You got the fist bump going.
All right, man. He's already part of the crew. He's welcome now.
You'll fit right in.
I appreciate it.
Really going in with the heavy hitting
Appreciation.
questions right at the top.
I know.
Yeah, cut him some slack. He's new. Don't just go right at him with that. Gosh.
Put his feet right over the
We're on episode 96. We have to start hitting hard.
Okay. All right.
No more games. That's it.
I want to ask
We're
the
playing
chat,
Destiny.
just
Start.
very quickly, how are you liking the pyramid, the PD pyramid thing going on here?
Yeah.
It's a happy
Listen,
accident.
Really
It's
good.
officially been labeled the PD food pyramid.
Oh, right.
like-
The food chain.
Yes.
And I'm at
It's
the
like a-
bottom. What
Yeah,
am
you're
I?
the
Am I like the
sugars.
hors d'oeuvre, like the starter, the side salad or something? Okay.
No, the food. The food.
No, the food pyramid would make you like the junk food. You're the eat.
Yeah, you're
spare
the
shit.
sugar.
The
Yeah.
fatty acids. Yeah.
I
I'm good
like
with
how Story sees the food pyramid as like a 5-course meal, and it's just
Yeah.
like you've got the,
Gotta have
No,
this.
man.
and
the
this,
soup and the salad.
Oh, man.
every meal. Yeah.
I'm
It's
having-
upside
Maybe
down.
the food pyramid's different in his country. I don't know. He didn't have what we grew up with.
That's true. That's true.
It is upside down, kind of.
It changes so often, so you never know, man.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that there's a lot to talk about tonight, yeah?
There is.
Oh yeah.
Been a
Yes.
busy week in Destiny. Yeah.
Definitely a busy week in Destiny. Did anybody catch the 4v4 tournament that we had last night?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, I did.
Pretty
It was
much
really
watched it.
awesome.
Yeah, man.
Anyone
By
listening to
last
this
night, you
podcast?
mean the last 24 hours. Which
Yeah,
is,
it was kind of a
how long it
marathon
Yeah.
sort of thing. We're
I thought
working
it-
on making that more condensed in the future for any of you who thought it was
Right.
kind of going on for maybe a bit too long. But for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there was a 4v4 tournament last night that was streamed on a whole bunch of channels, including Planet Destiny. And it was organized by PD, Far Cognitions, and Last Rites, I believe.
Yeah.
Really awesome tournament. Such
Yeah.
good games.
I mean, just
I
watching
thought it
it,
was really good. I thought it was really
sweaty.
That was really sweaty.
Yeah.
See, I
Well,
thought I was really good at
supposed to
PvP, and then I look at some of these guys play, and I'm like, man, I'm not on your level, man.
Yeah.
Just gonna put this away.
It was interesting to see the 4v4 setup. It's been very popular ever since Rise of Iron and private matches came out. I think it's really just for the fact that it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's arguments about which is more competitive. Is it threes? Is the competitive? Is it fours? And there's arguments for both sides. But it's something different and it's something fresh, and it's the first real major 4v4, which is pretty cool. And I thought it was pretty fun. I do end up liking a lot of aspects of 4v4. Not every single aspect, but there's definitely some merit to it. So I think I'd be down to see 3v3, 4v4s, any variety of tournaments. I have no problem seeing all of that.
The crazy thing there is that Bones just said something was popular because it was different, which is just insane.
Just not true.
Yeah.
Something completely different community right now.
I think it was really fun to watch. I think I personally enjoy 3v3 sweaties a little bit more than 4v4. Sometimes I feel like 4v4 can get a little cluttered, little chaotic, but it really was fun to watch.
Threes is more intense. It's like I'm a
hardcore Halo player, right?
Nice.
I grew up on Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo Reach. That's what I played. And 50s, across the board, and Team Slayer. So I love the 4v4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was like, that's so much more familiar to me.
There's definitely a lot more team shotting going on.
Yeah.
I feel like in 3v3s, there's a lot of opportunity to go in and push a 1v1 situation, but in 4s, it's all about like map positioning, and you get the good angles, and your team shotting. Really a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Much more emphasis on the team play and team rotations and stuff on 4s, isn't it?
Yeah, by a lot.
Yeah, but I find 3s a lot more intense to watch. I don't know. I tend to watch it a bit harder when I'm watching 4s, like just from a viewer's perspective. Watching 4s, it is, as you say, it's cluttered. It's like massively chaotic. It's super fast-paced. And it really does shine a spotlight on just how, fast-paced Destiny PvP is, even with 4 players. I mean, like when we're playing things like Iron Banner and 6s and general Crucible, I mean, that really is like, sometimes it's way too much action.
I think a huge side of that from the viewer perspective is that we can only see this from a first person perspective when we're literally watching it. And if we had a theater mode, or we had some sort of stationary camera where you saw, wow, here's where all of this action was, right on B, where you saw, 6 deaths right in a row, that'd be really cool. But because we don't know what's going on in 4s, because we're only looking at like what Luminosity sees, I think it can be a little tough to follow, what's really shifting the game here? Was it that triple I just saw on the corner of the screen, or was it something that happened in front of me? So 3s, you get it right in front of you all the time.
Spectator mode would be great.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Because there's so much more going on than what you could ever see from just one player's point of view. So many other things going on behind the curtain of what you can see from that one player.
That being said, we're getting better at switching perspectives and actually being able to demonstrate what it looks from all sides, which is like cool and exciting as someone who likes it.
That just highlights, how much Destiny hasn't added into its game. For instance, Halo, going back to Halo, another Bungie game, is they had all those features 5-6 years ago, and they haven't implemented them, even though it's a custom lobby, not a custom match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Kind
Absolutely.
of, yeah. And I mean, that's something that we've been discussing really since Destiny came out. Bungie, they know how well Forge mode and stuff like that, creative options like that, worked in the Halo franchise, especially in Halo 3. And we've certainly moved forward with the ability to host custom lobbies, as Anthony says, and our own ability to host tournaments now. And I'd like to see going forward, I would love for us to be able to get some sort of spectator mode, because you guys are absolutely right. Destiny can be such a busy game. It's got so much going on with positioning, with cooldowns, and when you have a 4v4 game mode like that, there's a few moments where there's just so much going on. You can't really get a real appreciation for it when you're just viewing it through first person. Being able to have something like a sky cam where you could just watch the entire map or an entire section would be beautiful. And hopefully, as we move forward in Destiny, maybe even Destiny 2, we get something like that.
The learning potential from that as well, because you'd really be able to see how teams are positioning themselves and how they're performing the rotations and stuff, which is something that you kind of does get obscured when you're watching from first person perspective. So yes, Bungie, please, spectator mode.
You need that Cloud Koopa from Super Mario 64. He follows Mario around with the camera on the fishing pole. You need that guy.
Yes. Yes.
I can see this as an actual job for a ghost for PvP, like a real job for the ghosts.
I mean, that's what the Oracle was. I mean,
The monitors things, right? Or is that what they're called? Yeah. That's how you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, even this is the first tournament that Planet Destiny hosted, and I wasn't in on it because I'm like I said, relatively new to Planet Destiny. But even just putting we all streaming through OBS or XSplit or whatever we're doing. just even putting like maybe 2 or 3 with different scenes, on the screen at one time, so you could watch multiple perspectives would probably be even a workaround, in the meantime.
Yeah. Hard to do though, from like, because the thing.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, I had no idea how Farcog was going to do it.
Yeah.
And then it was handled quite well from like the perspective of actual, viewing, like switching between the 2 teams and stuff like that. But he's basically taking the feed from 2 streams, so there's going to be a little delay here and there. So I was quite like interested to see how that could be done. I mean, of course, if it was all being streamed directly from one machine, then you could set up scenes and like quickly pan between each different player or different team perspectives and stuff. But yeah, it's quite a confusing thing to try and organize.
That's definitely a full-time job for somebody a lot smarter than I am.
Oh, and me. Yeah, I think I'd have an aneurysm from even attempting to think about that, let alone doing it.
Yeah.
Well, 2 things to mention on the tournament note. One is that the tournament that we just had this weekend was PlayStation 4 only, and there is a upcoming Xbox One Destiny tournament,
there is.
Again for 4s. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That one's going to be totally lit. Yeah. And after that tournament is done, we're probably going to have more down the pipe. We're not sure when, but I think there's a poll right now on Far Cognition's Twitter asking the people what they would want the next tournament to be, either 3s or 4s.
Yeah, it's kind of neck and neck at the moment as well, isn't it?
It is.
Last time I
very close between 4s and skirmish 3s. Yeah. So go on Twitter, find Far Cognitions, cast your vote, and keep your eyes peeled for that Xbox One tourney. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Huge congrats to Bomb Squad Kittens for an amazing run, and the I Am Boys for a very close runner-up as well.
Oh, yeah. I thought they were going to win. I thought they were going to win.
I did as well.
Got close there.
Yeah, it was very close, and
it was.
I think that I think for next time, I think it was a big learning curve for everybody involved, and I think for next time there probably will be some separation, so the teams don't have to stay up like all day and all night to try and get their competings done and stuff. Because I think everyone was pretty burned out. Like I was watching the I Am Boys play in a way that they wouldn't have played if they'd have had like a night's sleep on them as well. Like
maybe just like 2 days.
Rest assured, we are talking about mixing that up for the upcoming Xbox One tournament. So
yeah, I mean, it's a learning experience. That's not like a negative. I still cannot believe the amount of work that was done, and it was done very, very well. There was just that glaring oversight is pretty much the only criticism that can be successfully, made. And that still, for the first ever tournament, I think everything went fantastically, and I'm hoping that it's really wet the whistle for a lot more to come, because it was
nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was really exciting, and I was really hyped for it. I think there was a lot of people. We had loads of viewers on PD as well, a lot more than we usually get, so that's kind of nice. Yeah. But yeah, it was really, really awesome, and I can't wait for the next one.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got. What have we got next?
We were talking about how we'd like to see some sort of spectator mode implemented, just so we can get an easier way of seeing different angles, different gameplays. Looks like Bungie's thinking the same thing. This week at Bungie, they're talking a little bit about how they're going to be integrating their API with Twitch features, so that you can more easily find people who are playing Destiny and watch them. Looks like directly from Bungie.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Such a cool thing that they're coming up with.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard about this, go check out the recent This Week at Bungie. They have a whole kind of thing laid out on it. Basically, they're working together with Twitch, and now if you go to the Bungie website, I think sometime within the next week, you can go through and find Destiny streamers based on whatever criteria you're looking for. You can click on this drop down of who's streaming the raid right now, who's streaming Trials, who's doing Iron Banner, and it just looks so freaking cool the way they have it laid out.
Yeah, I mean, and then on top of that too, like for instance, if you are playing a PvP type mode or even a PvE type mode, you can pull up all the stats, the medals, the types of weapons, the perks they have on those weapons, the exact anything they have about their build directly, because it's so integrated into the API now.
So that is a wonderful thing, because how many questions? I mean, it's got to be the most popular question in a Twitch thing. What
gun is
weapon?
that?
What perks?
What
You know,
role?
It's to the point where
exclamation
the most
primary. You know.
popular Destiny streamers, they have like Nightbot or Deepbot or whatever. They have them pre-programmed to be like, this is my loadout, et cetera, et cetera. This is the gun I have. Here are the perks, because people ask all the time.
Yeah.
And with this new feature, you don't have to ask. If you're just watching through the Bungie site that's connected to Twitch, just click them open and you can see, oh,
It's
there's
right
the
there.
weapon they're using.
You can
There's
see
the
their
perks.
loadout.
There's everything. And I think that's such a great feature.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And there's something about an emblem. As a streamer, you can earn a new
Yes.
emblem
Correct.
by streaming.
Bungie is officially giving out streamer perks.
Yes.
Finally.
Yeah.
Aside from the perks we already get, though.
Yeah,
But-
Yeah, we have extra help. We have extra
Don't
help.
talk about it.
Those are
Pray
secrets.
tell.
You're not supposed to talk about this.
Pray tell, what are the requirements to earn this
It's what?
emblem?
77 hours of
You
stream?
have to
Non-consecutive.
stream.
Well,
77
it says it-
non-consecutive hours.
It says non-consecutive. Does that mean I won't get it if I do 77
Yeah, I was going
consecutive?
to say death by
Won't count.
streaming, you know, malnutrition via streaming. It's not 77 hours consecutive. It is, of course, accrued 77
Yes,
hours. Yes.
Correct. And Deej has tweeted out that he doesn't want anyone burning the candle at both ends, going for the world's first of this emblem. He's pleaded with the community. Please don't stay
that'll-
up
that'll
for
It's gonna
37 hours.
happen.
It is.
I know. Like, Deej is like, please get your bed rest. Go outside. Eat a good meal. Please don't be the world's first person to get the 77
I will
hours.
so
Destiny
on 70
dies
hours.
trying to get emblem.
Destiny.
As long as he
Oh,
succeeds
man.
at the death worth, no, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. You know what's going to happen.
I know.
We're
Oh,
gonna see
God.
how many people are just gonna be streaming random things, you know, in the background to get that consecutive 77 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How long
77
can you
hours
sit
of
in the
dancing
Cosmodrome?
tower.
Yeah,
Hit
there
the,
you go.
hit the
Yeah.
broadcast button and then go to bed.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
it. Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
God. But yeah, it does look nice, though. I have seen that emblem. I'm even thinking about, you know, maybe becoming a bit more regular myself because of that
So you
emblem
can earn
myself. And nice.
All right,
Yeah.
buddy.
But
It'll be a
Anytime we
good
get something
emblem.
exclusive.
If people recognize it, then maybe someone will look you up and they'll be like, hey, that guy streams. Maybe he's streaming me right now. And they'll
Yeah.
look you up and then they'll spam you with messages to get on your stream. It'll be great.
Which actually kind of ties back into just how cool of a thing this is for the community that Bungie's doing. The fact that they're hosting this on their own website, they're giving you features like giving access to the Armory API so people can see what you're using while you're using it. This is a great way to promote community streamers and up and comers. It's a really cool idea, in my opinion. I think
The
it's
only
neat.
thing, that I, you know, and this hasn't gone live yet, so you can't really complain too much yet.
Yeah.
But there's a plethora of YouTube gaming streamers on for Destiny as well, and I would love to see them at least integrate something using the YouTube platform. But
As somebody
you know,
who
hey,
primarily uses YouTube, I agree with that.
Same here.
That thought.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a YouTube streamer. That's where I have my following. That's where I stream
Yeah.
most of the time, and I'm not going to see those features, but you know, we can't complain yet. That hasn't even gone live. I don't get ahead of myself.
That's
Not
that.
yet.
That's a good point to like drive home. Is you cannot earn that emblem yet. It's not live.
Yes.
I think is it next week or some point in the near future. It's going to be.
I think it's sometime in the near future.
Yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
60 hours wasted so far this weekend. Jeez.
Rip.
God.
Yeah, the update says these features will be activated soon. So
I ruptured my kidney for no reason. What the hell, Bungie?
Too many energy drinks.
Oh, God.
Looks
not
like I'm
enough.
drinking wine, guys. This is not wine. It's not piss. This is a vitamin drink. You know, I'm just trying to liven myself up, but it does look like wine.
Look how cute it is. He says vitamins, vitamins.
Vitamin.
Yes.
Yeah.
vitamin.
Potato,
Oh,
potato,
Story.
aluminum,
Love your charming way of
Potato
speaking.
drink.
aluminium, aluminum.
Oh, aluminium. Ugh.
I will forever call it that now.
Yeah.
Can you hand me the aluminium?
Yes.
How often are you asking for aluminum? I mean,
Never. I don't, you
All the
know,
time, actually.
aluminum
Yeah.
sounds like some kind of mythical creature that lives on the moon or something like that. It's like
Well,
a
doesn't that make it
clanger.
sound cool?
That
No,
aluminum
it's
Why
came from
wouldn't
the
you
moon.
want to say it like that then?
It's
Aluminium.
funny,
Aluminum. I am
when
an
I was
aluminum.
I went to school
I bring you
within the,
love.
I I went to a school within my job, and we had to learn a lot about planes. And like to pass the test, there's a lot of things that's made out of aluminum. And the only way that I could catch that mnemonic device was I would call it aluminium.
Oh, good.
I just don't get where the extra syllable comes from.
It's British people. The thing is,
No
the British
questioning.
people think that they have monopoly on the English language. So therefore, if it's not inside that tiny little island that occupies 2% of the world's surface, then everything is wrong. This is the thing. It's like, no, it's pronounced aluminium. They get right up on their high horse. I couldn't give a shit, especially when I migrated over into Europe, and it's like all of that stuff is no longer relevant anymore. Like I remember, because everyone calls mobile phones over here, cell phones, cellular phones. So
Yes.
I've been here for 10 years, so I'm calling them cellular phones now. And I mentioned it on Facebook, and someone piped up saying, what the fuck is a cell phone? Jesus, it's a mobile. And it's like, no, over here they're called cell phones. No, you're such an American. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking
I
about?
call it a cell phone.
Yeah, it's a
Someone gonna
cellular
raise it.
network, and because
Not
British
cellular.
people call them mobile phones, and now all of a sudden, if you don't call it a mobile phone, you've been
You're a
condemned.
traitor.
Yeah, to burn in hell. But anyway, tangent, my fault again. Sorry,
A tangent.
the tangent.
A tangent.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go. Sorry.
No problem. Well, let's move on.
it's okay.
Yeah, let's move on
a
to
little
something
bit.
else.
Move on.
Has anyone gotten a chance to play the challenge mode this week?
Yeah.
Yes, and never again.
Yeah.
Never again. Wow.
Oh,
I made a
What are your
video.
thoughts? Yeah.
I made a
Yeah,
video
the
on
box
it. Go
challenge,
and
I'm
watch
like,
it.
not doing it.
Yeah.
I made a
Yeah,
video on
challenge
it.
mode. It
But-
came out in story. You made a video on it. I mean, and that was just a cluster of a day
Yeah.
in general. But that was a little bit of a challenge to get done. Not specifically because it's hard, but because you have to be so on point with the timing
Yeah.
of putting in the supercharges. I did get it done, but I get the feeling this is going to be kind of like the Oryx challenge, where it's not going to be something I do stream carries for.
So
No.
we complained last week that the challenge didn't have enough challenge in it, and,
And now
they
it's
answered
too
us.
much challenge.
Thanks, Bungie.
Bungie
I don't.
Like,
I can't really complain about it. It was difficult. There was on the video. I was reading through the comments. Silly me. And there was.
Always a good idea.
God, this is so easy. If you can't do this, then you deserve to die of asphyxiation. This is just so easy. And I'm like, no, it's not easy. It's like the timing is absolutely crucial. And if you make one tiny fuck up, that's it. It's wipe territory, back to the beginning, start it afresh. So that is, I think that's hard enough. Thank you very much to have to repeat that every, is it
Why did you go
bi-weekly?
to the comments, man? Did you feel like cutting your wrist that day?
Don't
Like,
ask. I thing is though, I promised in the video I'll look forward to reading your comments, blah blah blah. So I did read them, and I was like, oh my
There's your
god,
first mistake.
Yes.
yeah.
At least you're a man of your word.
Mm,
No,
Sure.
you know.
For
Some of
anyone
them
who
are quite
doesn't
nice.
know,
Thanks to everybody who does actually put nice, civilized, and helpful comments on Planet
the
Destiny.
1 in 20.
True.
You
For the
know?
4 of you who do that, God, we love
Yeah,
you so
the four,
much.
the handful of you, bless your little hearts.
I
But,
feel like we don't earn any more by calling them out either.
Really.
Husky Raid fans, you're all really
That's true.
nice. So thanks for all your really nice
man,
comments
you're
on my
lucky.
videos.
Can,
You
can
guys
we
are-
come
We
and
are
work?
just kidding around. We have tons of great people who follow Planet Destiny. Right now, the Twitch chat is literally just filled with tons of
Hey,
wonderful
everyone.
We only
Thank
get
you.
good people
Yeah.
in
all
our
of you for
Twitch
being
chat.
here. We like to pull legs
Yeah.
around here. But
We're just joking. We make fun of each other too. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We love you.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as the challenge mode goes, I think reward-wise, I have a little criticism. I mean, yes, the emblem is actually very nice. It was nice to get an exotic engram, but like what's burning me out about the raid at the moment is like armor. The armor is actually cool, and some of it has uses in PvP this time. So like Mortal Medicine is a pretty strong perk. That's quite desirable for certain circumstances, and the boots as well. The increased agility after getting melee kills, that can come in handy as well. So obviously trying to get yourself loaded out with some of these nice raid chest pieces and boots and stuff like that is pretty good, but like I'm just not getting any of them from, and when you do get them, you have to try and re-roll. Re-rolling's great. I'm not going to complain about that. I think that's a great feature, but like the amount of key fragments that you're earning through a heroic run is like really lacking at the moment. Like I'm getting a chance to re-roll a pair of boots maybe once or twice, you know, as well as get a cash key and yeah, loot wise, especially for challenge mode, I thought it was a little bit lacking. I think you should be guaranteed a piece of like armor or something like that. But
We do like guaranteed loot around here.
yes, guaranteed, because that's tough for 6 people to time that all quite nicely. Even though hasn't it been 2-manned or some shit? Some
Yeah, it got
boffin is 2-manned.
Don't use those outliers to judge yourself. All right, there's freaks out there. Okay,
You know.
I don't know how people do that.
Yeah,
Oh my
but
god.
yeah.
It's been unnormal. It's been done by one person now.
Somebody soloed
Oh,
the
we've
challenge.
seen that.
Somebody
Yep.
soloed it, yeah.
Yep.
I'm like,
How do you get
even
the
on
timing of
normal,
that?
I'm not a big PvE dude. So even on normal, I'm like, nah, I'll take.
Yeah. But yeah, the
Well, for
challenge
anyone
mode
out
was good
there-
though. You
I
know.
was just going to say, for anyone out there who doesn't know, the challenge mode for Axis is
Oh yeah,
basically
we didn't describe it.
we didn't even describe it yet. When you get the empowerment, when you get to the phase where you're setting up your teleports, in the back where the servitors sacrifice themselves, you can actually trade in your empowerment to charge everyone's super once. You basically have to get one person who's empowered to hit that panel, charge out the super before you slam Axis and start off your damage phase. You have to do that. You have to do it for every teleport that he does without missing a damage phase. Which means you have at most 3 to 5 seconds to get your supercharge and to slam Axis.
You basically have to dunk before you dunk.
Yep.
Yes.
You dunk the floor and then you dunk the big boy. And
Yeah.
the reason it's just so tricky is because the window for dunking on the big boy is already relatively short.
Yeah.
And people get really panicked. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. A lot of the biggest challenge for my group was people were slamming Axis before we traded supers, and that was the big issue there. And it's pretty strict because like on the first teleport you have like 3 seconds to get to Axis.
Mm-hmm.
So within that time frame you gotta move.
Yeah.
And it can be rough. It's not necessarily a super like structurally hard challenge. It's just a very demanding one.
Yeah.
Your communication has to be on point. You have to call out as soon as Axis teleports. You have to know what side he's on, and everybody has to be looking. Well, everybody who's not on the side that Axis is on has to be looking for their panels.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little rough,
Yeah, man.
little bit.
You know, what's funny is when we were on stream too, like the day before, playing some Iron Banner, and everybody's like, "Oh, what's?" It might have been. I think it was Trials. My bad. Everybody's like, "What do you think the challenge mode is going to be tomorrow?" And I was like, "You know what? Something that's very underutilized is those panels." I was like, "Those panels. Watch. It's going to be something to do with those panels." And everybody's
We're
like, what
listening.
are you talking about? What panels?" And I was like, "That's my point. They're very underutilized."
Exactly. Bungie heard you talking, and they quickly added that. They're like, "Oh, that's way better than what we have."
But as a challenge mode, though, I think it was challenging enough, and it was a nice little addition to our raid routine for the week.
Sure.
With this being the last thing for the raid, well, at least until the distant future, overall, are we still rating this raid pretty high? Because I still think it's probably my favorite.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I still think it's
Yeah,
wonderful. Yeah, it's
definitely.
a top tier
Oh, yes.
raid for sure.
I think any negative criticisms towards the raid at the moment are probably stemming from the root that they've played it so much already. Like it's burnout. It's not the fact that there's not enough content. You know, it's like no, you've just consumed the content like a ravenous beast with an appetite. You know, as if you've been starved for 10 years. I mean, I'm burned out on it at the moment. I'm also getting a little bit annoyed at the fact that it's trying to prolong the playability by starving me of armor. I'm not really getting armor as much. I mean, I got a few bits and pieces in the first couple of weeks, but now we're going for heroic mode loot. These heroic pieces that you can put your ornaments on, they're really, really not dropping for me at the moment, and that's not really motivating me to play it. That's doing quite the opposite. It's like, I can't be arsed grinding this on 3 characters. I think I'll give it a miss and maybe skip the perks that you get from that cool looking stuff. Maybe I'll, the burnout will go away. Maybe take a little break and then come back to it perhaps possibly. But as far as it goes, you're right, Bones. It's still a phenomenal raid. I would still probably give it like the gold star above the rest of them, and that's saying a lot considering Vault of Glass still has a very special place in our hearts.
Yep, nothing can beat Vault of Glass for me.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
I like this raid, and I like the challenges more than Oryx, just because I felt like every time we sat down and did Oryx, it's like, hey guys, okay, we're gonna be here for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So
Take the night off, you know.
Oryx brought the worst out in my groups more often than Wrath of the Machine does. I'll say that.
All right,
you know.
LFG now, guys. Come on, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I still play Vault pretty much every week. I try to make that a part of my.
Wow.
I do. I make it a part of my stream schedule.
I can't get anybody to run it with me. I still don't have no time to explain.
You've not heard of the famous Retro Raid Night?
Retro Raid Night,
man.
I do that, and
Superb.
I make it a point to run Vault every single week because it's still my favorite content in the game, and it's still certainly a fantastic raid. But yeah, Wrath of the Machine is right there underneath Vault of Glass for me. It's still an absolute joy to run. I love it way more than King's Fall. Not to say King's Fall was a bad raid, but it was way more frustrating. And
yes.
Wrath of the Machine is fun to play for me. It's very fun, and I'd say it's part of the best content in the game right now. Really.
I would concur.
Well, you know, except Archon's Forge. I'm sorry.
Obviously.
Nothing's better than Archon's Forge. Don't be ridiculous.
I actually enjoy Archon's Forge.
Yeah.
I did for a while there, and then after I did it my 200th completion and didn't get the God roll Saladin Vigil, then I nah, done.
That's
done.
enough.
This is why I don't play PvE.
Well, I'm still looking out for the Winged Word Trial Sniper.
Really?
Because
6 of them. If there was trading, I'd give you one, brother.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
dude, I'll
been
give you
showered
8
in
of
them.
these shotguns I have. But yeah, I've done. I've gotten all 3 Guardians up to the weapon drop every weekend of Trial since Rise of Iron came out, and I have not got that sniper. So
Poor guy.
Jeez.
It's nice. I mean, are we moving on to Trials now? Is this the segue?
Well, we
Is
can
this
talk
lack
about
of a
some-
winged
can,
word?
sure.
Could that be our
I
segue
don't
into
need to
Trials?
talk about my RNG any longer than
I like
The sad segue.
Oh, no.
I love what I love about this game is that Bones he has good enough stuff and he's good enough to get to the weapon drop every week, but he's still like, I want this other thing that I obviously don't need.
First world problem, man. First world problem.
I know.
No, it's
I know,
worth having.
seriously.
No, it was Iron Banner next, really. I was trying to intelligently
Yeah.
link a segue, but we actually are due to speak about Iron Banner next.
Yes,
It's,
we can't deviate off script. Never go off script.
This is
We have a
Planet Destiny.
script?
We say our segue and then we acknowledge that we made a segue,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then we talk about that, and then we get to the
how it
next
works.
topic.
Because the thing is, the segues are so like intelligent, and it's like most people they'll be like, whoosh, like no,
Yeah.
you just missed something highly
To draw
intelligent there.
attention.
By
How
the way,
great
that was
we
a
are.
clutch segue.
Yeah, it was a clutch segue. It needs
Put it
to
in
be
there.
mentioned, you know.
Very, very
here.
clever. You did a good job, man.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
but yeah,
Well, there
Iron
we are.
Banner. How are we liking Iron Banner this week? Huh?
I love the aggression. It's
Yeah.
great.
Getting into the moment. I'm really liking Iron Banner. I had a really great time the last time it was here because I really love Supremacy. Not a lot of people do. I really
did.
enjoyed it,
I
but
loved
we're going back
Supremacy.
to our roots here with Control, and I'm actually
Back
having a
home.
really good time going back to basic Iron Banner. I've been getting
Back
a
to
lot
it.
of loot drops too.
Control and red
Oh
bars.
yeah,
everywhere.
loot
Yeah.
drops are crazy. Of course,
I
they're
mean,
just
I
like
got a
last
lot
time.
of-
I was actually very glad to be wrong about my prediction on them reducing loot drops. I will stand by.
Way to be wrong.
Yep.
Idiot.
I am so glad to be wrong on that one. I think I have 10 clever dragons at this present
Yeah,
moment.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bungie is
And I mean-
literally throwing the dragons right at me, like after
Yeah.
every game.
Yeah,
They
I can't
are.
move. I can't
I
move for clever
streamed, I
dragons.
streamed the first day of Iron Banner for 6 hours straight, and the people that were playing with me were getting so pissed because it was like every 3 games I would get a clever dragon. Like I was just dismantling them at a point because I was like, I have every role I want already. These are just nothing to me.
Mega, is
They're
that,
trash.
is that a chipmunk on your shoulder?
What? Oh, that is
It's a cat in the
I thought it was
background.
sitting on your shoulder. I was like, oh my
It's
god!
it's the camera angle. It
It's
looks like
a-
there's something right on his shoulder. It's
He's
behind
Dr.
him.
Doolittle!
It's behind
yeah.
I'm in your
That
left.
is That is my wife's cat. He does not like me, or I'd try to get him, but he
thought it
just
was like
runs away. So
chipmunk or something.
Oh,
Can
man,
it
that's
sing?
for,
Can
the
you get it to
drops, right?
talk? Anyway, sorry, yeah, tangent again.
Oh, no,
my
no,
fault.
you're good. You're good. The drops though. I wish I had a kid.
oops.
Yeah.
The drops though. I got my god roll, clever dragon, like the first week Iron Man. I was one of the lucky ones, got in a package, So I was like,
No
I was
big deal.
really hoping they'd sell the Distant Star instead. And I was like, yeah, let's go with that one. Get the god roll of that. Yeah, it didn't happen for me. I was like, well, this Iron Banner was a failure for me. I mean, that's an isolated incident. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a failure if you had fun, though. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah. Did it with viewers. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and I was going to say, even if you didn't get a good Clever Dragon drop, the one Lady Aphrodite is selling is pretty darn close
Yeah.
to
Pretty
being
good.
perfect.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
And that goes for pretty much everything she's
yeah.
got.
some people are gonna not get the role that they're after. It might not be a god role, but some people have actually suggested some very, I don't know, non kind of meta loadouts for the old Clever Dragon that I wasn't particularly interested in. That's got me kind of thinking, maybe I should try this, maybe I should try that. So yeah, at least you've got the option to buy a very, very good version of the old dragon from Aphrodite herself. So
And kind of speaking on that, like roles outside the meta. This actually came up on the Planet Destiny stream as well. When I was streaming, a lot of people have given me different suggestions for which kind of god role you can go, and I'm kind of defining god role as something a little bit differently now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really define it too much as like one specific set of perks that can kill, anything at the, like that everybody's looking for. My play style, I'm one of those dudes that I run around with the Havoc Pigeon and sticky grenades, So that's and I'm very successful in it. I'm like top 300 on Xbox. So I mean, like, I'm
No
very
big deal.
successful.
No
at
big deal.
play.
No big deal.
But my point is like my perfect role is one with like Grenadier and Snapshot and then Hidden Hand, because that Hidden Hand really pulls over towards like what I use with my Mida and stuff. And so I was like, your god role is really just like whatever caters to the play style that you play in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good point. For the record, I would like to clarify that someone did prove that Quick Draw is better on the Clever Dragon than Snapshot. You will
Is it?
ADS faster with Quick Draw than you will with Snapshot, which is
all-
kind
This
of
is
which is
classic
kind of ridiculous.
Fallout
Mhm.
advice right here that he has.
Hey, I mean, I just want to make
He's
sure
got
that
verification on the
just want to make
microseconds.
sure
and
the people
shit.
know all the information. Yeah, Quick
I'm
Draw
now-
is technically faster ADS speed than Snapshot on the Clever Dragon.
yeah,
I'm
but
now
when you're capping a
furiously checking
flag,
all
if
my
you hump the
dragons.
flag, it burns quicker.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it does.
God.
It does. That's absolutely true. Any video that says otherwise is a lie.
Yeah, I actually found a method that
Lordy
does
Lord.
help the flag burn quicker as well, and that's singing share songs at the top
yeah.
of your voice. Yeah.
Well, that
like-
will burn everything.
Yeah, it does. Exactly. You know.
If you do that, you just win the game.
Yeah.
It just ends.
So-
But I'm pretty happy with my Clever Dragon. It's actually identical to the one that they're selling at the temple, except in the middle it has Quick Draw, so it's really, really good.
Nice. What's your thoughts
Really
on Rangefinder? Because I noticed on Twitter, I posted a picture of that was the one that I wanted. I thought that Rangefinder would actually do something good, but there was a lot of the general consensus that Rangefinder is a waste of a perk on a pulse rifle. What do you reckon, Mr. Crucible Science?
Yes, Mr. Analysis. Tell us.
I wouldn't say it's a waste. I mean, Bonesy can back me up here. Range is a good thing that you need to have on a pulse rifle. It's if you have very low range, it's also been confirmed that the grouping of your bullets,
Yeah, the cone.
like when you burst, it will be not as tight and concentrated if you have extremely low range. So stability, very important on your pulse rifle, but you need to have good range too.
Nice, because I think I got one with high cal rounds rangefinder and handlaid stock, with the option
gee, I
handlaid
have
stock
the same
or
one.
send it. I mean, the send it, it really does. The grouping goes all over the shop when you put send it on. But
The thing about that is, like, I definitely lean towards high stability rolls. It feels super comfortable. I like the ease of it. But when it comes down to it, you can, as a player, control stability and work with that to improve your shot. There is nothing you can do about making bullets hit for their max impact at range. There is nothing you can do about that. You are gonna, if you are engaging at a range and you're using less range on a gun than if the identical gun is across from you, there's nothing you can do about changing that interaction. So if you feel like you're just doing those shots where, I do that a lot, where it's like you shoot them and they get away and you're like, oh man, I put like 5 bursts into them. It's like, well, you probably got 1 less point on your crits, and they got just enough time to get away. Yeah. So if you feel like that happens, maybe range is more your thing.
Well, I got a load of rolls. I think I really am stuck for which one to use. I got like perfect balance, quick draw, counterbalance. It's like I've got ones like that. I've got ones with outlaw on, ones with feeding frenzy. Ones with absolute max stability. So I've been showered in the things. I just don't know which one to use. But I'm going with.
There was a point I had like 6 on me that I kept switching between to try to decide. Which one
it's like, I'll have this one for Mondays, and then this one for Tuesday, and this one for Sunday.
The Tuesday dragon.
Yes.
The one thing that I found though is the one with high cal rounds is winning pretty much every gunfight that I engage in, and that feels to me not right, because for example, I was using it in trials with my trusty Queensbreaker bow as my special weapon, which was my favourite loadout for this weekend.
Nice.
But the Clever Dragon was a great with the high cal rounds. I mean, it just seemed that every gunfight that I would enter, no matter the skill of the other player and whatever, I mean, we're talking like close to medium to slightly after medium, nothing at long ranges. Every gunfight, even if they shot first, I would win it.
That's stagger, man. That's why.
Yeah. So I'm not too sure, and I'm seeing a lot of feedback on the whole high cal rounds on the Clever Dragon at the moment, and the general consensus seems to be that it's a little bit on the overpowered, the overpooped side. Thoughts on that, gentlemen?
It really seems to be the next thing that the community is kind of rallying both for and against.
Yeah.
Everybody wants high cal rounds, especially on the Clever Dragon. Now, on the dragons that I've gotten, none of them have had high caliber rounds, but I certainly, none of them have had it, but it performs well enough without it. But high cal, of course, it's very good on scout rifles, very good on pretty much everything it's got, or that can have it. I don't know if I would say it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, it could be because I'm just massively skilled. My skill is literally
you could just be
pouring
amazing
all over the
game.
place.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the next shop package. Watch.
Yeah, but
Like I said,
I also have high cal.
Rallying on it.
I have high cal on a distant star as well, and I'm also winning a lot of gunfights with that, especially at range. So
It's that flinch factor.
Yeah.
Clever Dragon is one of those pulse rifles that fires a little bit quicker. You're trying to spam the trigger to just kind of wash them away with an overdose of bullets. And that tiny extra flinch factor, it just helps a lot, because they're trying to concentrate, they're trying to shoot you back, but you're just repeatedly spraying them in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you win the gunfight.
Yeah, man. I just remember this one bit with this Clever Dragon. It was on First Light. You got that building with the radars and stuff at the top. There was a player that was actually kicking our ass. He was running Last Word sniper combo, and he jumped right on top of that to get a revive, and I just leathered him. He was shooting at me. I was in literally death range of a Last Word, literally death range. I was dead. I thought, man, there's no way I'm gonna win this. Dead. And I'm like, oh my god, how did I win this? And it just kept happening throughout the whole game, and I'm like, I don't know, it's not me. I think this is the high cal. Definitely powering me with giving me the power, But yeah, it's nice.
It's a strong gun, to be sure. I feel like I'm really happy that they're selling it, just because I like the fact that so many people in the community have the ability to get access to a really good primary now. Because sometimes a lot of people feel kind of left out or whatever.
What?
What?
Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I'm actually that they sold it for the simple fact that now you're seeing more primary fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
not all just the special battle. Who's got the better sniper? Who's got the better matador specifically?
I like seeing all players on
primary
fair and equal ground. You know what I mean? I like having everyone getting the ability to compete at a similar level, and it goes back to the times when I had a year 1 Matador and people were saying things like, "Oh, you shouldn't use that." How would you feel if Bungie gave everybody a year 3 Matador? How would you feel about that? Like, I feel great about it because everyone would have an incredible shotgun. No one would be put at a disadvantage due to RNG alone. I think it's great that people have access to strong weapons.
And that's one of the resounding issues with like trying to get yourself loaded out for Crucible, is trying to get that group of weapons that belongs, you know, in the top tier stuff. Like trying to get a Matador, a good Matador with max range, max impact. That's like a quest that, you know, most PvP players will set out to do. I like things like that. That gives you a purpose and stuff. But when they're not dropping, like I've got friends that still haven't got like the Matador. They still haven't got, and they've put a lot of hours into Crucible. And you think, that's just crazy. They were being showered on the first couple of weeks. Well, they were for some people, but some people are literally denied certain things in order to keep that carrot dangling, you know, above their faces. So, but yeah, I'm completely with you. People do deserve to have this stuff, and they do deserve to be able to compete on that same level, because even the best role party crashers can't really 100% compete with a Matador, you know. It's
true. Yeah. Because that extra impact goes a long way.
It does
actually,
something.
like Mason Sean, he did a video, I think like a week ago, and he used the special box to measure you know, how far you weigh. Yeah, and 7 meters was the sweet spot.
Yeah.
7 meters. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And then the party crasher could barely hit at 5. I'm like, that 2 meters of in-game.
It depends a lot on your opponent's
difference.
armor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just because the Matador has that extra shade of impact that you can get from ag balls on your tree.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Has anyone ever put weighed in the amount of meters in a shot when they've played Destiny? Like
No.
the new conversation is like, this many meters, and I'm like, I don't know what a meter is in Destiny. I've never known what that
You
is.
stand your subject on top of a special ammo crate in Mayhem Rumble, and then
I know when I'm 15 meters away from heavy and someone picked it up and they didn't wait for anyone else. Like, I know that scenario, but when it comes down to the 1v1s, I'm just like, why would I ever, like, I don't know.
You're never running towards someone with your Matador and you're like, oh crap, I'm 8 meters away
Get
from
the yard.
I need to close one more meter.
I'm exactly 8 meters
It's
away.
just
one more step.
It's just that distance, though. You know what I mean? It's just that much further away
You just
than
know.
somebody who's used to playing in the same play style. You know what I mean? So if you're using a weapon for quite a while, you know, obviously not in meters, any kind of form of measurement, but you know where that sweet spot is to hit somebody. You know, with that shotgun burst, and you know, if you're using that Matador, that God-rolled Matador, you're like, I know I can be a little bit further outside your range, and I can still get the kill.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a good tip for everybody. If you're having trouble with trying to rehearse or drum into your muscle memory the most effective ranges for the favorite weapons that you use, hop into a private match with a friend and Mayhem Rumble, because the special crates spawn, you know, like, you know, every few moments there. Just stand them near to a special crate, and then, you know, you've got a perfect distance factor, so you can try and drum into your head the most effective ranges with the meter reading as well. I mean, I was kind of forced to do that with the weapons videos that I've been making, because it just gives folks more information, even though I didn't really care about it myself. And, you know, but it does help. It helps you be a lot more effective in PvP. So there's a tip for you.
Or just use a sidearm.
Yeah.
Or just use a sidearm.
Just use rockets. Just use your super.
That's great.
Just
Oh,
DDoS.
man, you gotta play, man. You gotta play with the sidearm. Trust me, bro. You won't be you'll win a lot more against shotguns.
I love the Trespasser. I mean, it's like it's ruining other sidearms for me, because it's just like so fun.
So good.
So I still use my Havoc Pigeon, bro. Havoc Pigeon with high caliber rounds.
That's a classic.
Dirty. It's dirty.
Yeah, I still got what's the Iron Banner one that was like the first week?
Iron Wreath.
The Iron Wreath.
the
Iron Wreath.
Yeah.
First week of Iron Banner of year 2, we got the Iron Wreath, and then we got the Nerwin's Mercy. And those 2 guns, like, that's all I needed for the rest of the year in terms of those archetypes. Just perfect.
I love the design on that Iron Wreath. Such a badass looking gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one too for the aesthetics. I'm like, it's got a suppressor. I mean,
Yeah, it's
right.
like a little silencer on it.
It's the sound of the Iron Reef as well.
Yeah, it's like
You know.
Doing our best Iron Reef impressions here on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Everyone makes sidearm sounds.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
good, though. It's good.
basically
No,
it's like
I
a
prefer the
USB.
the Havoc Pigeon over the Iron Wreath. It shoots just a bit slower, but you can put out 4 rounds rather than 6, and you can get the kill just a bit faster.
Mhm.
It's I'm telling you, sidearms. That's what the new meta is at, guys. Sidearms. Nobody
Don't give
believed
away all
me.
your secrets.
Nobody
Yeah,
Yeah, I
man.
know.
believed
Come
me.
on,
Sticky
man.
grenades,
Not
and
unless-
now everybody's doing sticky grenades.
Anthony,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you tell Shax that I wanted a Havoc Pigeon? Because there was a point in year 2 Destiny where every single time I leveled up my Crucible package, every time he would give me a Havoc Pigeon. I'm like,
Honestly,
Shax, you're killing me here, buddy.
You should have bought the vendor one, man. It was Feeding Frenzy and crowd control, bro.
Oh, sure.
Hey.
While
That
we're
was-
on the
that was
subject of Iron Banner, thoughts on going back to Control after we've had such a break away from Control as the Iron Banner game
I
mode?
get real burned out with Control, and
Yeah.
I say that about
Yeah.
6s in general, but I realized that this week that I didn't have a problem with playing a good long night full of Supremacy.
Me too.
And yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm the try-hard guy that loves playing shotguns, and everyone didn't like that and wants primary kills. Yeah. But just generally speaking about the game type, I get so burnt out on Control and sometimes Clash that I just realized I couldn't do it. You know, I wanted to just hang out in the party chat all night,
Yeah.
and I was like, guys, I'm gonna go play something else. I'm going crazy here. It's stressing me out, and I don't want to be stressed. But that's just me. It's totally a personal.
I'm with you,
thing,
mate. I am not a fan
yeah.
of Control. I've never been a fan of Control. Every Iron Banner Control, I'm like, oh God, not again. I don't know. It's just the way that the game plays. Because I will, when I hop on a morning and try and gather some footage, I'm going to be playing alone. And playing Iron Banner alone anyway is like being repeatedly smacked in the face with a piece of 2x4, you know. And then Control, I don't know what it is about Control that just makes it 10 times worse. I mean, I do. It's the players that I get matched with. Number 1, rush B, die, spawn in. Rush B, die, spawn in. It's like
jump through a window.
yeah, you know, there are 3 flags. The whole point of Control is to occupy 2 of them and then go on your selfish kill streaks. That is that's the objective. If you're going on a selfish kill streak when you only have 1 or no flags, you are losing your team. You know, you're literally losing the game for us, and that's pretty much everyone who I get matched with. That's what they do. So it's just really laborious. You know, I think Control could possibly have a point scoring tweak to make it a little bit more team centric, you know, because that's basically what it is. And I know the general consensus is, well, don't play Iron Banner alone, then go stacked, and that's what you have to do really to get the wins, I suppose. But
I feel a little bit different about it. Like I'm not a big fan of Clash. I'm not a big fan of Supremacy either, just because I was never a fan of Kill Confirmed from Call of Duty. It's just not my kind of game type. That's all. I mean, and you know, I might be in the minority, but that's my opinion. Oh, I have an opinion.
What?
But
my God,
I like Control.
where's the
for
disconnect
the
button?
podcast.
Yeah, hang up.
I like Control for Iron Banner because it gives, I mean, at least somewhat of an objective. You know what I mean? And you know, when it is Clash, everyone's just fucking running around doing whatever they want, and you know, like it makes. I'm like, hey, like, don't go out there and die. I mean, I know we're only like 3 people in here, 3 randoms, like, but don't go out there and die, dude. Like, just stay back. You know what I mean? Try the team shot. We can get this. And if it's with Control, I feel like it's a little bit more less punishing to that. You can control your zones. And obviously, if you're not controlling your zones, then you know you're losing.
lose,
But
yeah.
you have an objective.
Yeah, when you're rolling stacked, it's much more fun. It's much more engaging. I think it's just a much harder mode if you want to hop in and just try and earn, you know, your rep and try and get your bounties done on your own. You know, I think it's like, I would say personally, Control is as team focused as something like Rift. You know, it's not like a terrible game mode. I've just never really enjoyed it because of, like, if you're not going with at least 3 or 4 teammates that have brains, then, because always with the matchmaking, the enemy team know exactly what to do. they're playing the way the mode that should be played. It's just that your teams always seems to be
Don't play solo, man.
yeah, like
Don't do it to yourself.
but sometimes I have no choice, and
I'm
especially
probably the most casual person in here, I would say, and the worst player. And I normally don't care that much about winning, so I don't mind control normally. But with Iron Banner, I do like to win, and I also go in alone a lot, so I can see where story's coming from here. And I will say the one thing I really preferred about Supremacy is just that when I load into a game that I'm losing in control, I feel like it's over. But Supremacy, I always felt like I had a chance at making a comeback, because you could have
turn it around.
huge comebacks in Supremacy. But Control, once they're up like 1,500 points, sometimes I'm looking at my team and I'm like, there's no way this is going to happen.
Well, in Supremacy, 2 good players can carry an entire team. It's not guaranteed, but they have the opportunity, and that seems to be the ratio with the matchmaking, is that you will have 2 players with brains, 4 players without brains. And
That's
then,
really accurate.
You know, like it's just down to experience. I mean, I thoroughly understand that the players without, the Crucible kind of mindset do need wins and everything.
Yeah.
But I just think when you're trying to match, the enemy team on equal skill, it's just the handicap is just stupid. It's really aggravating. So Supremacy is a much more effective mode to play with less players that know what they're doing. Even if I didn't care about the shotgun-centric nature of the gameplay, it's like, okay, Iron Banner, it's all about winning. It's about getting your rep. It was about getting your rep. Now we've got this brings us to the next bit, the new loot system. Ranking up now doesn't really have much of an incentive. Like obviously you when you get rep, you're also contributing to your bounties, but the bounties can now be completed with extraneously to reputation. Which was a really odd change, in my opinion. It doesn't really make much sense. It was like a spur-of-the-minute thing. Someone just went, press that button, quick, go live.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was really weird to take away... Like, your only real incentive, I guess, to hit rank 5 now is to be able to buy the weapons. But there's so many drops now for the weapons that I didn't need to buy the weapons. So I hit rank 5... And I was like, oh, why did I even waste my time? I have a better role than this stuff already.
Well, I mean, Bungie's kind of walking on that fine line where they're trying to find the perfect mixture of making
perfect
sure
balance.
Yes,
if you will.
people getting the gear they want, but they don't want it to feel too grindy. You want to feel like you're earning it. You don't want to feel like you're walking into PvP, tripping over a clever dragon immediately. Oh, we'll take this home. Like they want you to get they want you to get the good gear.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't want you to overgrind. So I think they're trying to find that perfect ratio.
I guess it's probably fine if you were just grinding to hit, like, if you grind to rank 5, you didn't have a good clever dragon, you could buy the vendor one, and that would be worth it. And I was thinking to myself, well, now I have no motivation to hit rank 5 on my other characters. But then I realized just by doing the bounties, I hit rank 5 naturally. So I guess it worked out okay.
I like it. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, they say as much with when they were talking about their goals for Iron Banner. They don't want it to be a grind fest where people have to calculate out exactly how many matches they're going to have to play, when they should turn in their bounties. They just want you to be able to play it and get the drops from it. And I think they've done overall a pretty good job with that. It literally rains loot, win or loss, in the Iron Banner. You can go in there and have a 10-game losing streak, and you'll probably still get a few drops within that. And that's really good. And I mean, with the rank 3 and rank 5 reward package, back in the day, it was what? You got like a ghost at rank 3, and at rank 5 you got an artifact and like a piece of a weapon or an armor. That's basically been rolled into the bounties now. So now you get 4 pieces of gear from the bounties. You get 2 pieces of armor, 2 weapons. And I don't have a problem with that. I did kind of miss the quest line, the Dragon of Light quest line that we had in the previous Iron Banner tournament, which was just extra rewards on top of what you got from the bounties. But I thought the loot system for this tournament, it's good. I enjoyed it.
I agree that it was rewarding. I was just kind of like, well, what's even the point of, like, why are the ranks even here? Like, what do they mean now?
You
more
get
than
those
anything?
drops, and it's like, why go to rank 5? I already got 4 clever dragon drops. Why hit rank 5?
It literally needs no rank almost.
I think the formula for the first Iron Banner for Rise of Iron, where we had Supremacy as the mode, I think that system was perfect, and I really didn't think that needed any changes to it. So it kind of does bewilder me a little bit that they felt compelled to fiddle with that when there were other things that could have had a bit of attention. I didn't see any problems with it. I mean, yeah, there was a few complaints from people saying that, oh, there's too much stuff, and it's like,
Shut the
shut
hell up.
shut up, close your mouth, and please disappear.
They listen to this.
You know, but yeah, I just don't think it needed messing with it. I looked forward to those packages because they were. I mean, yeah, you get like the opportunity to have some legendary gear from, you know, cashing in your bounties. I just thought, well, why not have one at least? Just have it at rank 5 then. When you hit rank 5, you get some extra stuff. Well done, you've just hit rank 5 and you've braved the intolerable, you know, laggy mess that's Iron Banner. So here's a piece of armor. That's another thing that's worth mentioning. I noticed just watching from other streamers play is that they were getting haunted with armor and getting no weapons, whereas I've been haunted with weapons and had no armor drops, like literally no armor drops at all. I was looking forward to varying my loadouts for all 3 characters, getting some different stat rolls. You know, chest pieces with extra fusion, boots with extra fusion, rifle ammo, etc., etc. And the variation for me with armor is just, I mean, the game is like literally like no armor for you, no armor for you. So I noticed that there was a little bit of that gear loopage, you know, continuing going on. Has anyone else experienced that where they're not getting anything of a certain type?
Absolutely.
Weapons.
I'm only getting primaries. Like
Right.
I'm getting tons of clever dragons, and that's it. I have gotten 1 machine gun and no armor. I think that's it.
I think I'm one of the few that's gotten like 15 ghosts too.
Oh my god! A ghost is all that's been holding me back for weeks from light level 400. I can't get one.
Wow.
My wife's over here like, I need a ghost. That's like, play Iron Banner. She's like, I haven't got a single ghost. And I was like, wow, that's weird because I've got like.
Yeah, man. Gear loops are quite annoying. I'm still not convinced whether a gear loop is an intentional thing or whether it is a side product of the whole private loot stream shenanigan or not.
I think there's just a million players and it's all anecdotal.
It's just
Yeah.
RNG.
That's probably correct.
Like you can have a miracle happen and I might play a year of Rise of Iron and never get the winged word, but like that sort of those odds happen on a daily basis. You know, there's always one person.
It's all a conspiracy, Bones. Stop
There's
trying
one
to
person
discredit
in a
I don't
car
think it's
wreck on the
either or.
10
I think
every
it's-
day of my life.
it's-
Every day of my life, there's someone in a car accident on the 10 highway, and I'm like, who's doing this? Why do you keep getting in a car wreck?
It's the same guy
Someone
every day.
happens every
It's the
day.
same guy. And every
Have
day
you
when he's
seen
being pulled
Westworld?
out by the ambulance, it's like, I still got my wing. And Bones just has to look at it and be like,
Well, I now know what I'm paying attention to on my Twitter feed now. Bones posting a screen grab of that winged word dropping for
Oh,
him as well.
it'll happen. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
I'll tag you in one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll get one
Prayer circle for the one word.
next
No,
time
chill.
for trials, and I'll tag you in it.
While we're on the subject of loot, what's everyone's favourite piece of Iron Banner gear that they've got so far? Let's go with Neff.
Ever?
Probably the chest piece. I play a warlock, and that chainmail looks so nice on that
Yeah.
warlock.
Mhm.
It looks so good. I'm like, I don't want to give up my Starfire protocol, but I'm like, oh, it looks so nice.
wait,
Call
hold on,
out.
back it up. Starfire Protocol?
This
Yeah, I
man
run
with
my
the
stuff-
stickies.
Stickies. Yep.
Yes! Finally, someone else!
I run
Vindicated.
Touch of Flame Viking Funeral, so I can have those burn stickies, and then Starfire
Double
Protocol
fusion.
gives you an extra sticky.
Right on, brother.
There you go.
Finally, somebody else who does it. See,
You can
I'm not the
rest
only
with
one.
sticky grenades. It's OP.
Fallout, what's your best piece of gear, mate? So
Ever
far.
in Iron Banner?
No, this Iron Banner.
This
Iron
Oh,
Iron
this
Banner.
Iron. It's definitely my Clever Dragon with the full stability and the quick draw. Fantastic gun. Love it.
Excellent. Mega. Very quickly.
I mean, I love the Clever Dragon too, but I still have to stick with my lingering song, 4 shots, luck in the chamber. I kill people so fast. I love it. I suck at this game, so if I can 2-shot somebody, that makes it win.
I'd love one of
Still
those,
looking for
man.
one.
Yeah, man, I'd
Yeah.
love one of them. Bones, what's your best that you got so far?
I got a nice scout rifle. It was the distant star with a hidden hand, and I managed to get a braced frame plus I think it's a appended mag, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So the big problem I had with that scout rifle was how the mag size, if you wanted high stability, would get down to 10, which I think is just crazy. We have hand cannons with more rounds, so I managed to counteract that. and still get my high stability, like I said. So it's pretty solid. I don't know if it's the best scout rifle in the game, but if there is a role to use for that gun, I think I have it. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Nice. And finally, Link. Your best.
Right on. Well, I've got one clever dragon that I've really been digging on. It came with hammer forged. Let's see, what else did it have on it? Braced frame, snapshot, and head seeker, and it's been performing pretty well for me thus far. I'm still seeking that high caliber rounds roll, but that's probably going to be my favorite drop thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome sauce. I think I'd probably have to go with the clever dragon that I got with where is it now? It had, I don't think it had perfect balance, high cal rounds, and rangefinder. So yeah, I think that's been really effective. Pulse rifle gameplay is becoming a little bit on the stale side for me, but like I think as like the most effective weapon that I've had so far from Iron Banner, that would be definitely that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right on.
Anything else to mention about the banner this week?
Well,
Make
I mean,
sure to
I know
pick
we-
up that armor because it can help you
Yeah,
get to
right.
tier 12. It's got a high roll.
100%
That's
rolls,
right.
dude.
Grab that armor, boys. and girls.
Ludicrously good. Yeah.
Well, they're like 98% roll, not quite 100.
The discipline strength chest piece is a 100% roll, I do believe.
Ooh.
And it's got pulse rifle shotgun on it, I think.
No matter what, it's high.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
go
yeah.
get it.
Yes, it is a
Go
100%
pick it
roll.
up.
Like,
Go pick
it's
it up.
good. It's good stuff.
All semantics. It's so good.
Yes.
Oh man.
Beautiful.
Though, like speaking of, I know we glossed over it a little bit quickly. Just want to put in my opinion there with the way they changed Iron Banner loot system, sorry, like how you can get to rank 5 within like the first couple of days now. I think it's actually a little bit better because,
Agreed.
yeah, going back, the way it used to be is like people legitimately only played on, Monday or
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, just because
Yeah.
like, oh, I can
Yeah.
get it all done right then and there. You know what I mean? You didn't have to worry. And I'm like, that's my trials time. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So now I can actually get like 2, and if I grind really hard, I can get a 3rd character to rank 3, and then still have I still work, a lot. I work
Yeah.
45, 50 hours a week. So like I can still get my rank 3 or 3 characters to rank 5, and then play trials. Not have to worry about it. I think it's a good move. I think it's a really good move.
Yeah, I mean, really, the whole loot system, the progression system for that Supremacy Iron Banner for me was perfect. I think any changes to that have kind of just dampened it for me. But yeah, like the whole bounty system, the ranking system,
Absolutely.
way better than what it was. Much more intelligently thought out and a lot more consumer friendly.
Yeah, it's a lot more user-friendly, and I would have to agree with you. I would always go through on my first character, like, starting on Tuesday and get them to rank 5 by, like, Friday. And then I would literally wait till Monday to do my other 2 alts and just rush it out through there. So it's a lot more laid back now. You can just get all your characters to rank 5 really quickly with the weekly bounties. I think it's a much more accessible, much more friendly system nowadays.
Absolutely.
I would agree with that. Absolutely.
Okay, then Trials. The Trials. We're now going to have to cover this subject because
yes.
Trials of Osiris this weekend, they pulled yet another fastball on the members of the community
Damn it.
by having...
We promised that it would be normal.
Yeah, we thought... I loved the tweet that Derek Carroll put out saying, so Trials is going to be back to normal this week, and he just posted a picture of himself
Yes.
sucking on the straw of a Slurpee or something like that with a very innocent-looking
Juice
face. I mean...
Holy
My-
crap.
my,
First
uh,
light.
Yeah, like
Wow.
I've always loaded into that map on a private match and thought this would be a real fun Trials map, But no, admittedly, it would probably cause.
Apparently, you're the only one.
Yeah, I've had a barrel of laughs. I didn't expect to have so much fun this weekend, but I had a barrel of laughs because of how much it forced different loadouts. All these new emerging loadouts, like scout rifles, definitely number one primaries.
No shotgunning this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I did go up against a few teams that were literally clinging to their matadors, and they got absolutely flattened, But yeah, like it was so nice.
As someone who's touched a sniper maybe twice since Destiny came out, this was literally my worst nightmare, and it played out as such.
Jump on the Sparrow, just go kamikaze, kamikaze style.
We were streaming and we were doing that just to once we gave up on ever possibly winning, we started just.
I had actually
the team.
tweeted out. Once I found out that the map was First Light, I said, okay, first person to tweet a clip at me of you killing someone with a sparrow in Trials gets $5 on PayPal. And everyone was like, oh, man. Within an hour, I got 20 clips tweeted at me. It was so hilarious. Of people going out of their way to run people over with a sparrow on First Light.
Within 2 hours, you were broke.
Somebody tweeted at me getting a wrecking ball with, it was like a 3-minute clip. Wrecking ball with a sparrow.
I'm like, how
does that even happen? It took me forever just to get 1 kill, and you managed to get 3? Dude, come on. Overachiever, man. Overachiever.
Light 'em up.
I had a great time with that though, because I got I think it was the second week of Rise of Iron, and I got a God Roll Event Horizon that has just been gathering dust in the vault. And I took it out and went for a spin, and I used it for a full card. I was really, really impressed with it. However, then I realised this map, I'm getting the Queenie back out again, because I've always loved the Queensbreaker bow, and I've done exceptionally well with the Queensbreaker bow, and oh my god, the hate mail flowed from using the Queenie. I mean, it's kind of overpowered with the whole aim assist thing. I prefer to call it the Queen's broken bullshit, because the magnetism.
It's banned in tournament play for a reason.
Yeah. But oh my god, I had so much fun with this, and some of the teams that we ended up beating, I mean, we shouldn't have been beating these people. They were really, really high ranked players, and I just had an absolute blast with it. It's loads of fun. I think there was a lot of criticism that, it's a camping scurry, put the scurry artifact on, camp at the back of spawn, wait for supers to push, and, just be a cheesy, douche about it. But I found that teams like that, who were really good with, on the ball with sniping, if their no-land shot was on point, if their basic sniper rifle shots were on point, they were getting the drop on us sometimes when you're trying to close the distance to get into their spawn, or if you were trying to hang back and wait for them to push with their supers and get a lucky one. But 9 times out of 10, the camping scurry technique literally got them a loss. So I think it
usually
was
what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the emphasis was on being a lot more conscious of these long distance battles and seeing where people were actually, trying to angle you from. But yeah, I had a barrel of laughs with it. I think it was good. My only criticism is that they should have saved this. Let the dust settle from Festival of Dust with the Spooky Trials, had a normal weekend, and then maybe a week or 2 weeks from now, I think they were a little bit too keen on having another, special themed trials. That's the only criticism that I have.
I think there's a lot of people in the community who are literally at this point willing to either sign their soul to the devil or kill a man to get just give me Burning Shrine, please.
Yeah.
No more surprises.
Yeah.
I like a silence of that.
As somebody who knows that he has no chance of getting to the lighthouse anyway, unless somebody like Fallout straps me to their back and just carries me there, I have a good time with the changes because I'm just playing to have fun anyway. And I got my first ever super salty hate mail message this weekend calling me a camper girl and a piece of shit. So it was.
Girl.
Yeah, he was pretty pissed because I clutched on his team when 2 of them used their supers, just me versus them. So it was a pretty fun time. I know, no big deal, I know, it was a camper girl with my shotgun. They hated me.
The only thing that really, it kind of, put this in perspective for you. There was such an excessive amount of shotguns, and I feel like Bungie was like, you know what? Instead of fixing the issue, how do we skew the results or skew the numbers in such a way that it looks like that it's a balanced
how do we tweak, right?
Yeah. Or instead of putting on some sort of malicious trick on them, they said, "Look, that was a lot of shotgun intensive gameplay for 2 weeks. Yeah. Let's back it up and let you guys use snipers for a while." I mean, I don't think it's haha, if we just use all the big maps, we'll never have to change the game. Like,
Bones, that's too realistic,
Stop
man. They're trying to
that,
bend
Bones.
over and plow.
I just
the
want-
Well,
field.
you know, we've got two more. Is it two more really big maps? They've got Sky Shark,
Bastion and Sky
Yeah.
Shark.
Bastion. Yeah, so maybe there's like another
Shark.
3
Don't
weeks.
put any ideas. in
yeah.
that
Just
head
like,
for
I
Sky
think,
Shock
I
would
just
be
think
oh
there was
my
a big,
God.
I'll play Sky Shot. I'll play Sky Shot.
Yeah,
there was a big
I'll
miss
play
on,
those.
on what happened the past 3 weeks, and it all got sort of distracted by Festival of the Cost, and people were real upset about needing to spend money on cool things, and that is 100% fine. I get it. I feel that. I felt the same way. But because that was in the air, Friday came and Spooky Trials came out, and what could have just been a fun thing that we all laugh at and say, haha, look at this, we get to sneak up on each other. We just lost our minds and we started raging about that. And then I guess we all forgot that they gave us how long Festival of the Lost was and that it covers 2 weekends. So when it came again, they're like,
That was
no other 2 weeks.
What? How is this possible?
It's like, okay, but we also knew the schedule for that. And then now, okay, yes, they were like, oh, God, that was a lot of shotguns. We know it was. It certainly was. It absolutely was. 85% of the kills are shotguns or whatever. So they're like, okay, as a nice pour of water on top of your head and wash off all of that shotgun nonsense, we'll give you a map that everyone's going to use snipers on. And everyone went, no, I want to play close quarters. And it's just like...
So you
like,
want
all
a
of it has
wide
been-
open map, do ya?
yeah.
I think,
Can't
Story,
wait.
I think your main point there is that maybe they just give up on anything, on trying to do anything different, and maybe that would actually be better now, is just to say, you know what, let's do Shrine. Let's do Burning Shrine. And just we'll never change Trials again, at least until
As soon
Destiny
as they
2. I
do
think
it,
I'm gonna
that...
hop on- I'm gonna hop
basic
on
bitch
Twitter
burning
and
try.
complain that it's
Yep.
back to normal.
I think that I sincerely hope that they use the initiative to be like, okay, we are going to continue introducing these changes. We're just going to stagger them a little bit more, because you're going to get hate. You're going to get nasty feedback from people who don't want any change. Because Trials is still insanely popular. People literally live for that weekend of playing Trials. You've got streamers that focus all of their attention on streaming Trials. So the formula for it is quite, it's quite a very careful balance and stuff. So I have absolutely no problem with messing with that balance, but just stagger it out a little bit more. Like, I want to see Bastion. Yeah, they could have picked a better weekend. I think they were a little too desperate this weekend
Wait
to
a
like
little bit,
to
yeah.
put that back in there. But like, it was such a refreshing change to see all these loadouts come back out of the woodwork again that were like super effective, and it also was shining a spotlight on the fact that scouts are good. They are strong. It's just that we have very little long-range maps in which to utilize, to actually have a scout rifle as an effective, weapon. Burning Eye, holy shit! If you've got a Casitas with a good roll on it, oh my god, these things are, really,
I don't
really
know,
I got
good.
man.
to use my favorite gun, which is not like the others, all weekend, and I was so happy to
Oh,
put
it's a
that
fun
on.
gun.
So
I'm
I'll take it.
expecting a No Land Beyond montage from you, Bones. Is this forthcoming?
It's, actually, yes. I think me and Arrow Knight from Destiny Reset podcast, he's been using it as well, and we were both sort of freaking out about how much we love No Land. So we might do a little cotage, a little dual-tage, whatever the
I'll
the
send you
word
some
is.
clips there, Bones, man.
Hey, you
Oh,
know,
hit
our
me up.
guest Anthony here. Go check out his YouTube. I was checking it out
Ah.
earlier. He's got a No Land Beyond montage right in there.
The No
I love
Land Beyond
Beyond
tage.
The No Land
Oh, at
Beyond.
the same time. Whoa.
No Land is one of my favorite weapons. I love coupling it with a sidearm. And actually, like on stream, I ran double snipes.
Rip.
Oh no!
Oh gosh, we just.
I thought that was my fault then.
I know.
I was going to shit
God,
my
story
pants.
I
ruined
thought the
it.
whole world
Oh, man.
paused.
Well, at least I squeezed that plug in for his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I shit my pants because at the precise moment that
Right in
Anthony is frozen, I thought, please don't anything freeze.
Oh boy. Well, we are experiencing technical difficulties.
I
with
binge
Anthony.
watched all of Westworld today. I assumed he was just like a host and he got frozen.
That's how it happens.
We'll try and
There it goes.
get him back in here.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I'll re-add him to the call just in case. Add people to this call. Yeah, I think he's gone completely offline. Maybe just with a lag spike.
He swerved. He swerved too hard from the meta.
Yeah.
Bungie had to pull him back.
Yeah, as soon as he said, I pair it with a sidearm. It was
was
like, no,
What is
you're off course.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
Yeah.
Cut that out immediately.
Yeah.
Cut his feed.
God.
Well,
Yeah. What were we on apart
what's
from?
yeah?
Interesting change.
using scout rifles and long range
Yeah,
guns
man.
and trials this weekend because of First Light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get
It's
some
nice
more
to be able to see
long-range
some of those
maps
lesser used weapons.
Yeah, man.
so we can use
Yeah.
scouts.
Scout.
I had
There
some
was a
cool,
guy playing No Land Fusion, Saladin's Vigil, and he was just destroying with it. You know, like it was was
Yeah.
a really nice combination to use on this map. But I loved
There's a
using
fun-
the Event Horizon. I was getting the Devil's Dawn out, but not Forgotten. But as soon as I realised, oh my God, Queensbreaker bow, and that was it. I ran that thing as a primary. You know.
The most fun I've had on this map is the way the game shifts once it's either towards the end of a round or maybe you have a few people dead on the map, is when it goes from this very careful, spread out wide, who's flanking, who's doing what, trying to get that first pick, and then it all just sort of like condenses down into the building on B.
Yeah.
And sometimes it went right there. You know, sometimes there were rounds that ended real quick because everyone wanted to push it. And I was playing Night Stalker for the 2 runs I've done so far, and the fun you can have with Shade Step and Bones of Ao is just like jump up to 3, roll down
Lordy.
there, go cut through down, go through the bottom, go run around there.
Yeah.
And I was
It's like a
just
little parkour obstacle course that you can
It
just do
is.
whatever you want on.
and I would actually just see how long I could stay alive and never try to engage while I wait for a teammate. And I'm like, they're on me, come save me. Just run around and jump. And that 3-dimensional gameplay is really fun. And there's very few spots on the standard Trials maps where you have 3 levels. You know,
Yes.
there's ground floor in the middle, which is, you know, inside, which is a whole different way to play it, is to actually stay hidden and then be on the top. I loved that. So any round that got into there, I had a lot of fun with.
I just tried to get an F back, but it's not happening.
Oh, he says all of the power in my block just went out.
Oh,
So
no.
Wow.
I've got a feeling he's not coming back.
Oh,
I
bummer.
told you, Bungie had to shut it down.
Yeah, they
Not
got
allowed
it.
to advocate things.
Well, everyone in the chat, just go and drop the gentleman a follow. It was really nice having him on board. I was actually gonna chat with him about maybe popping along to some of his trial streams if he'll have me on. But I'll chat to him.
He doesn't want you. He doesn't
I
want
know.
you.
Yeah,
You know, I just thought.
can't hurt to ask, right?
You know, finding out his PayPal, sending him a donation. Do you do carries?
Yes.
Wait
But yeah, like the whole First Light thing, I'm liking this. The variety. I just think space it out. Oh, he's back! Look at that! The pyramid has been formed once again.
welcome.
We needed our starches.
I don't know what happened. Like, whole block just like shifted. I don't know what happened.
You were talking too much about sidearms, and I pinged
Yeah.
Story. I was like, you gotta get him
Yeah.
out of here, man.
Give it
Oh,
Swift
God.
boot.
66.
Order 66.
Yeah. So is that enough on the old trials? Is it time to
I
move
think that's
to
a good
Q&A?
coverage.
Is it Q&A?
Little Q&A
time?
times, yeah.
A little bit.
I have a really good question that someone asked on Twitter that I wanted to kick it off with. So we're going to start with this one right here.
Okay.
If you're listening to us and you have a question right now, hit us up in the Twitch chat. We'll try to get to you. But the question is from Crimsoned Wolf, and he wants to know who everyone's favorite Pokemon is and why.
Oh my gosh.
That's a really good
Oh,
question.
Jesus, ask me to pick between one of my favorite 600 children. Like,
Right? You gotta pick between your kids.
800.
yeah, it's 800 now. I forgot. Jesus.
Overwhelming.
You would have to specify generation. There's no way I could be able to pick between all the ones that are available now. There's no way I'd be able to pick.
I'll kick it off. I'll say that visually, like design-wise, there's 2 who are my favorite. There's Umbreon, who I love to death, love Umbreon, and
Good man.
Gengar. Gengar,
Nice.
so cool. I actually have a little, on my keychain here, I got a little Umbreon thing. I don't know if you can see that.
Brian was the
Right.
first shiny I ever got. I hatched it.
Look at
Yo.
Mr. I've gotten a shiny over here. All
I've never
right.
caught one in the wild. I've never caught one in the wild, but I've
20
hatched
years
a
of playing
couple.
this darn franchise, still haven't gotten a shiny.
Nope.
Yeah.
Never?
400 hours
Nope.
in Pokemon
Oh,
Gold. I
come
didn't
on.
even know shinies existed. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. I love my little Umbreon thing that my girlfriend gave me.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if I had to pick for like best fighting Pokemon, like not just visually, it's probably Salamence. He is awesome.
No, you're right, dude. Salamence is amazing.
Salamence is a G.
Mega Salamence, Uber. He's big.
Good job done.
I would always use Game Shark and get Begamon and swap him out. That's now my main. That's the starter for me.
That's your
Let me
big
get
on
my
as your starter. Right on.
That's the only one I'd use.
I like that.
I have the most nostalgia for Pokemon Gold, so I'm gonna go with my starter in there. Typhlosion was always my favorite, and then yeah, and then Blissey. I always really liked Blissey. I don't know. I just something about that 600
answer.
HP.
It's
Yeah.
unkillable.
A lot of HP.
Yeah, that was my squad.
Definite
Love
shout
the
out.
Gen 2 representation here.
Oh yeah.
Gold and Silver were Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I guess were obviously the best of the Pokemon games,
Mhm.
bar none.
Clearly.
I'll throw two. My favorite in Gen 1 was Articuno. I remember growing up, when Pokemon cards were a thing, I got one of
Got a
those shiny
box.
holographic Articunos from a random pack my dad got me one day. And I think I've still got that thing, like over there somewhere in a wallet or something. So the Articuno's always been one of my favorites. Other than that, Metagross from Ruby and Sapphire. Because it's
Such
a
an odd
walking...
one to pick.
Look
It's a
what you guys
walking
in your
four-legged...
Isn't it
Legendary.
Metagross? I feel like it's rude to call him gross.
I call he's a big, gross computer thing with like two brains. It's great. Love it.
Metagross is pretty cool.
I don't know nothing about Pokemon. I'm the odd
You
one
don't?
out. I know nothing about Pokemon.
Oh,
Heresy.
So I'm just going to
No,
go with
cool.
Han
Yeah,
Solo.
yeah,
You know?
Dude, you have to leave.
Oh, this is tough. I honestly do have such a soft spot in my heart for Pikachu. I feel like that's dumb because he's the mascot, and it's just like, yeah, of course, everyone loves Pikachu. But like, honestly, just like a character in the show that had personality and is just like the comedic break in so many scenes, which is hilarious. And then like just a cool Pokemon. But I think truly my favorite. You guys, Typhlosion and Umbreon are in the top 5, seriously. But Greninja is probably my favorite.
Greninja.
I think he's awesome.
Yo, Greninja is hype.
Yeah, just so cool. And like that's saying something because I think the other two starters from Gen 6 are trash Pokemon, and they should be deleted. And all three of the new starters, I'm just like, no, these are so weird. And so Greninja will just. Maybe I'll use that Ash Greninja in Gen 7 if they give it to us.
Dude, did you play the demo?
I did. I liked it. I have
cool, man.
mixed feelings, but I liked it overall, and I think there's a lot of good things coming.
I didn't play it yet. I mean, I haven't. I still have a Nintendo DS. I didn't upgrade to a 3DS or anything like that, or XL or whatever. And I haven't gone and given the money yet and given away
Yeah.
buy another console to play a game. I mean, I love Pokemon, but I'm like, I'm good.
Well, it's a Pokemon machine, right?
I don't
It
want to
basically is a Pokemon machine.
You're not getting all these other, handheld games just because you have the 3DS. It's like I'm playing Pokemon in this, and it's staying inside of that console forever.
Never taken that game.
I actually play a lot of games on my 3DS, so no.
Nerd.
Same here.
I know, I'm a nerd. Oh god.
I've got it right over there. I was playing Zelda earlier.
Great choice. Excellent choice. Which one?
Cool.
Which one? Link
Majora's
Between Worlds?
Mask.
Majora's Mask. That one's awesome. Yes. All right.
Someone
cool.
asks a question
you go.
about Pokemon, and it takes over the entire question.
Yeah,
segment.
right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Pokemon Destiny podcast.
I need to get my
First episode.
Pokemon shit together for the next one then, don't I, really?
Right.
I've got
Sun
some
and
work
Moon
to
coming
do.
soon.
Yeah.
Coming out this Friday.
Yeah.
And it looks good. It looks super good.
Okay,
All right.
next
how about a
cue.
Destiny
Now that we've
question now?
shilled Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo,
Okay,
that
you-
checks in the mail, right?
Yeah.
Here's a question from Retrack. Thoughts on classes having more defined roles in Destiny 2, such as more focused on support, defensive, and offensive.
Like a MOBA.
So
a
the
MOBA.
thing I've been thinking about this actually because I've been playing other shooters, and in the sense, yeah, there's MOBAs and stuff, but like we have to look at it more in the shooter perspective, like Battlefield, or maybe Overwatch. Overwatch is really in towards that direction. I think what has to happen more is that the classes have to affect each other. You have to affect your teammates. And the only ways we see that now are like bubbles, right? That is a team class because you want everyone else to be using your bubble effectively. You see it a little bit with a tether, which is a super that helps other people get kills. And in PvE, definitely huge is like that tether. Mm-hmm. We see that role more. So I think if we want that in Destiny, it's going to have to play with other people on your team, which is tough in a fast-paced, many-death shooter, right? Mm-hmm. You die a lot in Destiny compared to Overwatch, where you want to stay alive back, or all those other games rely on staying alive more often and less and shorter engagements. So I don't know. I think it'd be cool, but we have to think about what that means and if we want something to be a little more team-oriented or a little more kill potential-oriented.
And that's the big variance there between a game like Overwatch and Destiny. Destiny is a game you can play solo. It's a game that has a solo mode, so classes need to be able to stand on their own as well as they can with a full team of people. And I could definitely see more of a MOBA style class-centric gameplay coming into effect in Destiny 2, but I don't think it'll ever be to the point where you have a defined role like this character is a tank and nothing but a tank. This character is support and nothing but support, because all these classes have to be viable for solo PvE play. Yeah. And I don't know if we'd ever get too deep into that, but I could definitely see some more support abilities. Certainly, like nobody
having them as abilities.
Song of Flame. Yeah. Nobody uses it. Rip. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for having different specific roles. Like as you said, Bones. The Titan bubble is one of the very specific classes out of the 9 that is, that's what it's used for. It's used for support. You know what I mean? Like you use that for protection. You go into a raid, you're like, we need a bubble. You know what I mean? Especially like blind or something. You go into like very sweaty trials match. Having a bubble is always good. If for numerous things, maybe trying to get a cap point. It has plenty of factors. And then you like you said with your bow. Nobody uses a bow to shut down supers. I mean, like obviously people do, but you use it more. People use it more aggressively than anything. But I think having defined classes, one for support, one for like a DPS, a tank, one to maybe a stealth class or something like that. We kind of do with the hunter, but it more defined would be cool. But then again, we're talking about it's a Bungie game. It's a first-person shooter that is supposed to be the intended way to play is everybody has the same. Everybody's on the same level. You know what I mean? Everybody can do the exact same thing with minor changes in each class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, apart from some stats, the melees, they all do relatively around the same amount of damage. The grenades, same thing, relatively around the same amount of damage. So like everybody's on an equal playing field, regardless of what class you play on. Like I said, but going back to each of those little bit of outlining factors that do change. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I talk a lot with my hands. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
That's why we're live, baby.
That's why we're live.
So what use is this video if you're not moving around? All right.
Got to be animated.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we'd all have pictures of Captain Falcon. Ain't it? Because we could get away with it.
Wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'd rather look at Captain Falcon than some of these people.
Same.
Let me just say.
Hey.
I meant myself.
God.
I didn't mean you, Fallout. You're beautiful. Please take me to the lighthouse.
Please don't lie to me. We got time for another question, right?
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
I've got one
always.
from Lothar422.
Hit it.
First off, he starts by saying he's really enjoying the new podcast. Thanks so much for that.
Thank you.
But his question is, how would you guys feel if you could turn off auto aim or aim assist for PvP in Destiny?
Oh man,
Why
this
would I
is
do that?
great.
Why would you do that?
Here's the
That's my
problem.
immediate response.
Here's the problem I have with aim assist in Destiny. It's like they have lots and lots of aim assist in the game, and then to try and counter the fact that there's lots and lots of aim assist, they add projectile randomization. You know, it's like a counter to counter something. It's like, well, just either reduce aim assist or, you know, like have it just never, the amount of it doesn't really make much sense. I mean, of course the game is controller based and you have to have a degree of aim assist. It's just the general consensus is that Destiny has more aim assist than any other shooter out there at the moment. I'd have to agree with that, you know, having played plenty.
It also feels the best.
Yeah, I don't know.
It does. I mean, I can't really argue that the gunplay in Destiny feels immaculate to me. I still regularly go and play Call of Duty, and it's great in that, but nothing feels like Destiny. There's no other game out there.
Gunplay was better in year one for me personally. I found it a lot more crispier.
We have less aim assist in either it hasn't changed or it's been changed on guns that have less aim assist.
No, we didn't have as much like randomization, like Bloom, for example, and as much like
that wasn't a thing.
That wasn't a thing until was it this year? Early this year when they introduced
Taken
that?
King. It
Taken
was
King.
the Taken King came out.
Yeah. I think that's the issue for me. Like I would prefer to go back to those eras. That's when the gunplay was like my favorite gunplay of everything. Whereas after those changes, it still is my favorite, but like I'm yearning back for those times. So I think that aim assist, if it has to be a thing, I'm fine with that. But don't try and make it more balanced by adding this weird randomization to stuff, because the randomization hasn't given us anything positive. It's just made things more aggravating. You know, the fact that you can take a gunfight and it's who randomizes the most, you know, will lose the gunfight. That has become a lot more of a thing, even within effective ranges. You know, that's the argument with Bloom of, oh well, pace your shots with a hand cannon or don't try and use it outside of its effective range. And it's like, well, Bloom happens within effective range. It happens with shotguns, it happens with all kinds of stuff, and that has just brought a really negative change, and I'd like to see it reversed for me personally.
To the back to the heart of the question.
Yeah,
how would I feel
relative.
if I could turn it off? I don't know why I would want to, other than sign on when I sign on to my friends' accounts for filming and mess with their settings.
Yeah, what you were saying there, like I think, you know, being able to turn it off like like custom games is like a mode or something, you know, like a fun thing you can do with some buddies. But you know, actually in Halo, sorry to go back to Halo.
How dare you?
To get better at sniping in Halo, what we always did was we would go on the same team in a custom game. We would turn on being able to kill, you know, your teammate, you know, team fire. And then we practice trying to get headshots or body shots that way. You know what I mean? So I can see the appeal of turning off aim assist. I just wouldn't turn it off competitively because, like you said, why? Why would I do that? Like, it keeps me, you know. But I mean, I can see the appeal of turning it off to like try to get better at something.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes aim assist bugs me when I'm shooting at someone and someone else runs by and it drags
pull it away from you.
That
does happen. It's crazy. Oh, I can't take it.
And with melee as well, like for example, if you want to try and, you know, melee someone in close quarters, and then all of a sudden it tracks a different plane, you end up throwing a smoke at them, or you know, you end up trying to melee the person that just got revived, and you end up, you know, whiffing your melee because they've got a res shield on them. You know, that sometimes it does screw you more than it helps you. I find that it screws me more than it helps me.
I feel like 90% of the time, if I didn't have aim assist, I wouldn't hit anything at my skill level.
Well, that's the truth of it. Like in a game that revolves around aim assist so heavily, if you turned it off, people would be like, I'm not hitting anything anymore. You know, it's like,
what?
Yeah, that's right.
Go try to snipe Guardians in patrol. Yeah. And like just shoot at people running around, and you will not hit a shot.
I like to practice sniping by shooting the little flying things that are in the plague lands.
That's what I was going to say. If you want to see what Destiny would be like without aim assist, head into the plague lands. Those little small shanks that like repair things or are cutting through steel. Try to snipe those.
Yeah,
that's what Destiny would be like without aim assist.
Good question, though. I like that question. That's a good one.
One final question before we sign off, directly from the Twitch chat. Story, can you please just say aluminum one more time?
In my own tongue or in yours?
In your native tongue, please.
Okay, you ready? Aluminium.
Oh my god,
Say vitamin.
Ooh,
Say
you
vitamin.
gave me
again.
chills, man. You gave me chills.
Vitamin.
that was incredible.
Vitamin.
Oh, I love it.
That one is less like I
Great
don't know.
soundbite.
Tomato. Tomato.
Love it.
Thank you.
Next week,
feel better.
when the podcast goes live, there's going to be no discussion. It's just going to be an hour and a half of story reading words out of the dictionary.
Anal.
In a weird way.
I'll watch. I'll watch.
Oh
Methane.
God. Can we just trade back and forth? I'm gonna need Black Link every now and then, giving us like the American pronunciations.
I got you, fam.
Good.
Well, a massive thanks for Mr. Neff for coming on to the stream today.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Really
You guys-
appreciate you coming along. Apologise for not briefing you as much as I should have done. It's been a horrible week, but yeah, and it would be nice to like get involved. Like me and Fallout keep saying this every week. PvP streams at some point. This
tune
one,
in.
the next one that we have is gonna
right.
goddamn happen. So we'll sort it out amongst ourselves. We won't sniff any dates
Hey,
at the moment.
keep me in the conversation, boys, because I'm on that PS4 now.
Well, this,
okay,
Out
then.
there,
you know, exactly.
Okay.
General
Oh, hey,
Crucible. you
Megan,
know.
you're an Xbox player? You have
I
an
am.
Xbox?
I am an
Good.
Xbox player.
We can link up, man, because
There you go.
I don't have a PS4, and I'm not about to buy a second PS4 for my wife because she plays excessively too. So
yeah.
I
ain't
got
gonna
you.
do it. So
I
Xbox
understand.
is where we're at, man. Xbox
All right,
is where we're at.
good. Excellent.
Well, before we sign off, Mr. Neff, why don't you tell everybody where we can find you?
You can find me. I do some YouTube stuff. You can find me over there at just type in my gamer tag Lord Neff or Mike Neff 2006. Or you can find me on Twitter at Anthony_Neff. Should be super easy. But I really appreciate you guys having me on here. Thank you.
No problem.
Absolutely.
It will happen again,
Man.
for sure.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, man.
It's fun stuff. Fun stuff.
So, Fallout, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me at youtube.com/FalloutPlays, twitch.tv/FalloutPlays, and Twitter at Fallout_plays.
Man,
There
I
you
need
go.
I need to make that more smoothly like you did.
Oh, yeah.
We've had
Years of
Lots of
practice.
experience.
Shilling
Every
our
every
own
time
stuff.
every time it comes to me, I freak out and don't remember any of my
He's like,
links. So
"Oh,
don't feel
who am
bad,
I?"
Neff.
You
Oh
can find
Jesus!
me at Dado's Destiny. No, it's the wrong guy.
Oh shit!
Don't, no, wait. You still follow him, but don't follow. No.
I guess
Bones?
maybe yeah.
Bones, where can we find you?
You can find me at bones_CR or check out crucibleradio.com for the podcast all about the PvP. It's a good time. And that's it. That's the only places you should ever look for me. Never look for me anywhere else.
Don't look anywhere else. Don't do it.
Not even here.
Black Link, where can they find you?
Yo, what's up? You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at the Black Link. Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all at the Black Link. And of course, right here on the Planet Destiny Twitch page where I do streams every week.
Beautiful.
Who's next?
Mega.
Story?
It's Mega.
Oh, it's me.
Mega?
Oh Jesus! I forgot
I
it
thought we
all.
were leaving it for last. He's got the Jason Bourne syndrome.
You can find me on YouTube at Husky Raid, where you'll find dumb dance videos. You can find me on Twitter at Husky Raid Guys. You can also find me most recently on the Community Spotlight on Bungie.net for Husky Raid. Whoop.
Ew.
Yeah, if you want to hear me talk about non-Destiny stuff every now and then, you can listen to Husky Radio on iTunes. Story, why don't you tell me where we can find you, you beautiful bastard?
You can find me in all the same places. All you got to do is type that in. It's Story Machine with a 4 for... Swap the A in machine for a 4. There you go. If you can't be asked to deal with all of that confusing nincompoop stuff, head on over to the Planet Destiny YouTube, and in the right-hand column, there is a list of all of us right there and then. So you can subscribe to everybody by heading over to the Planet Destiny YouTube and clicking on subscribe and everything there. That would be immensely fantastic, and we'd all appreciate it.
Yes.
And my Twitter's the same. Everything is all the same. It's the me spelt funny.
Stupid spelling.
Yes, because it was already taken.
It's actually the proper
Someone stole
British
it.
spelling of Story Machine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Much like
You know?
aluminium.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, there we
Well,
go. So that is the
yeah.
end of today's edition.
That's
I just
God,
saw this
segues.
article on GameSpot called "The Only 30 Pokemon That Matter," and they have Mewtwo in their #1 spot. So I'm gonna go write an angry comment on this website.
Ugh.
Make
Mewtwo.
that happen.
Pay the respect to Umbreon that
Yes.
Umbreon deserves.
You take
and,
umbrage
damn
with
right.
the lack of Umbreon.
Umbreon, yes. I was just about to crack that, but you beat me to it. God damn it. Anyway.
Every day you become more and more British, Mag.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm absorbing
That's the
his
one.
power.
Well, anyway, before we sign off,